So what are the people who are underpaid doing? Okay, if you think about what the people actually are doing, underpaid doing, they're I would say it is a completely untapped resource, all of them, right? They are doing some work, maybe they are trying to learn some work, they are running around in courts, they are increasing the how do I say, they're like furniture in their boss's chamber, right? In a way, I'm sorry, I don't want to insult anyone, but unfortunately this is the purpose many of them are serving, and they're hoping that in return somehow they will learn the work somehow. Okay, there is no systematic structured way for them to learn. Okay, so if they learn by chance, if they are smart, somehow they are very smart, by observation, by trial and error, by pure sheer hard work, and that some people, a few percentage people, are able to learn. Okay, and then obviously it is up to them to go and build their own practice and figure everything out on their own. Nobody is there to teach them anything, how to build a business. Imagine, if I am building a business, there are so many organizations, academies, everything are there to teach an entrepreneur how to do marketing, how to do business development, how to identify new markets, how to build better services, how to do innovation, how to implement technology. There is so much. For a lawyer, there is absolutely nothing. It shocks me. Okay, it shocks me that there is nothing that it's like, it's a real business, it's a huge industry. You look at large law firms, they are doing hundreds of crores of business, they have large business development teams, they have and the smaller lawyers are not even allowed to have a website. You look at any big law firm, they have such extensive websites, but when smaller law firms, smaller lawyers have to make a website, they are told, no, your website must be this template and all of that. Okay, they don't even have nothing. And every time I do these sessions telling people how to make a website, how to make a blog, how to make YouTube channel, how to do business development, 2-3 people come up and say that, oh my god, are you sure we can do this? Go and tell the big law firms, I don't want to take names, but you know who they are, go check what they are doing. Has the bar council stopped them? Have you been able to stop them? If you're so conscientious, instead of targeting the smaller law firm, smaller lawyers who are trying to innovate and serve their clients honestly, why don't you go talk to the largest law firms who are doing it, right? How come you have never even written a LinkedIn post or Twitter post about how these big law firms are doing it, right? Okay, so why are they not trying a different path? It would be surprising. Like, there is this huge magnitude of law graduates, year after year they are coming and they are going into that same process of exploitation, I would say. What is happening? How can this go on and on for so many years? Why are they not trying a different path? Have you asked? Have you ever wondered? Right? So what is the risk? Do they have anything to lose? I mean, why are they even not trying something else? Are they afraid that they are going to take a risk? I mean, right now they are already down at the bottom. Like, I can't imagine how it can be any worse than what it is currently. So why are they not trying out something more? There are so many different things they can possibly try. Why are they not doing that? Is the hope that if you follow the grind and make less money for the initial years, you will make good money later based on reality? Because this myth was created in the 1980s, 1970s, 1960s. Are you sure that this myth even works today? Who's saying that this works? If somebody is telling you, and old lawyers are telling you, they are telling you this based on their experience in the 80s, maybe even in the 90s. But does this apply today? Is it the same situation? When I was graduating out of law school, if you asked me that should I join an NLU, maybe the very new NLU, low ranked NLU, I would say with closed eyes, join NLU, no problem. It is an NLU, very good, just join. Because there was very few NLUs at that time. But now that there are so many, even some states have 2-3 NLUs, not even one. Every state has an NLU, except for Goa maybe. I don't know why they don't have an NLU in Goa. Would have been very popular. But in the rest of the states, they don't even have one. Some of them have 2, 3 NLUs. So is it reality that this whole dream that if you just do this grind for 5 years, 10 years, somehow you'll make money later on? Okay. What do you do now if you realize that you are caught in a cycle of underpaid jobs? Okay. So what is happening is that people are getting caught in a cycle of underpaid job. Your first job is underpaid, hoping that you will get a better job later on. Then somebody says, oh, you only used to earn 10,000. I am giving you 12,000. So it is a 20% hike. Please, don't expect me to pay you more. And you have to accept it because, I mean, if this is all you are getting, you accept it, because unless somebody is offering you a bigger amount, what choice do you have? So how do people break out from this? Criticizing the system is great, but if we are not providing any alternative options, if you don't have any options, then what is the use of criticizing anybody? Okay. So if you are trying to improve your earnings, okay, there are multiple reasons there can be why you have low earnings. Okay. One of it can be that are you working for an organization or a practice that is growing or viable? If you attended my session yesterday, we talked about skills yesterday a lot. I don't want to talk too much about skills today. One question is to ask that, do I have the skills? I am applying for a job. Do I even have the skills to do this job? Or maybe I'm not getting paid because in the first place, I don't have any skills. Look, you have enough skill. You have definitely more skills than a Uber driver, hopefully. You have more legal skills than, so many completely low skilled and unskilled professionals are earning that much money. A carpenter is earning 50,000 rupees a month in Delhi. So certainly as a lawyer, you are in a more high skilled business. So you should be able to earn more. This is common sense. But do you have the skills that you are claiming to be having? So that is one question. If you don't have it, you have to acquire skills. But I'm not going into that today. Another question that you have to consider, are you working for an organization or a practice that is growing or viable? Okay. Many of you may be stuck in a job where that person giving you the job is not running a sustainable practice, or that practice is not going to grow. It's too small. It is going to stay the way it is. If you are in such a job, then you are stuck. Nothing is going to happen. First to do is abandon that job. Even if you are getting paid there, get out. Find something where it is a growing organization, where it is a viable economics is there behind that organization, right? This is very, very important, and many young people miss this out in desperation.